Now, hello guys, this is Shady, and then a quick one. I've seen a video on TikTok which is actually trending between a guy and then a police officer in Ghana, and then so I'm gonna post the video after this, and then I'll share my comments on it. Stay tuned.
I'm not going to give you my license. Just look at the license and then go, and then give me my DV.
Okay.
You verify it.
You know something?
Give me my DV.
We are going to station.
Allah will not go.
You will not go.
Why will I go to station?
Because you
What's my offense?
No, wait.
I'm not going to station, bro.
You are not going to station.
I'm not going to go.
Okay.
Take the law book.
Alright guys, so we've actually seen the video. I've seen a lot of comments under that post, and then I think it is right to actually educate the people that are on TikTok about such a scenario, because I know a lot of people are driving in Ghana, and then with such a scenario it's a bit dicey. Okay, now let me put this disclaimer across that I do not know exactly what ensued prior to this video being recorded between the young man and then the police officer. I'm not aware about it. What I can speculate is the various variations that can lead to such an encounter. Okay, so it could be that one, the police officer had a justifiable reason or a justifiable cause to stop this gentleman, probably because of, it could be how he was driving, it could be the guy was approaching a normal police stop, and then the police have to go through the normal checks that they normally do. And let me put this across, that the police are actually empowered by the Constitution to check your driver's license as well as other documents. Now let me read the Road Traffic Act of 2004, which is Act 683. Let me read section 120. Section 120 clause A, subsection C, it says a person whom a police officer or a vehicle examiner has reasonable cause to believe to have committed an offense in relation to the use of a motor or vehicle on the road. Now I'm going to read what comes afterwards, but then, so this is what I meant when I said probably the police officer in this case had a justifiable or a reasonable cause. Okay, now assuming there was nothing like that and then it was just a normal checks, now it says shall, on being so required by a police officer or a vehicle examiner, produce that person's license for examination. That's what the law says. Produce your license for examination. Now, I have seen in the video that the young man said that he would not give his license to the police officer. I hate to be the bearer of the bad news, but that is actually an offense. You have to produce your license upon the request of an officer, either in uniform or not in uniform. If he's not in uniform, he has to identify himself either by an ID card or whatever it is. But you are required by law to produce your license to the police officer. And I mean, the reason for this is for the purpose of examination. Now, he was saying that he would not give his license, to the police officer. Now, the question is, how will the police officer examine this license if he does not take hold of it? Do you get what I mean? And the purpose of this examination is for the purpose of forgery, forgery of official document, because there are other citizens who sometimes go through the whole brouhaha of actually forging these sort of official documents. So it is expedient for the police officer to actually have a grip of the license and then examine it. Now, what sometimes has been the case is that when a police officer gets hold of your license, they don't want to give it back to you. They probably want to use that avenue to probably frustrate the person and put the person through a whole lot of hell and blah blah blah. So I am only believing that was the reason why the gentleman did not want to cede off the license to the person. However, it does not validate his action. It does not make it lawful. It is totally unlawful, and then he can actually be charged on that. Now, secondly, he was I mean, the car that he was driving was for the it wasn't a licensed car. It is a car that has a DV number plate. Now, I think DV number plates have purposes that they serve. You be driving around Accra or you be driving around Ghana, you see a whole lot of people using DV cars and blah blah blah. Some people, I mean, they have different reasons why they're using these DV cars, but then the reason for that DV number plate is for the purposes of maybe you bought a car and then maybe you are moving the car from the car park or from your house to see a buyer. You are moving the car from the house or the car park to the mechanic or maybe to maintenance. There are actually stipulated clauses in the law that justifies the use of a DV number plate, and that is why you should have a logbook. So if you could see in the video, the police officer was having the logbook of the guy, because it could also be that upon examination, what was logged into the book wasn't what the guy was probably seen doing. I mean, there are so many variations to this. There isn't enough information on this matter. We are only making an assertion based on the video that I posted early on, but fact still stands. The guy should have tendered in his license to the police officer. Now, what actually would have happened is that I checked the police officer's rank, and he is below the ranks of an inspector. Now, the law actually stipulates that upon your production of your license for examination to a police officer, it is only a police officer of the ranks of inspector and above that has the right to confiscate your license, either for further examination, to invite you to the what's it called, the police station or whatever. Now, this police officer in the video was below the ranks of an inspector, and there was no way that he could have confiscated this guy's license. There was no way. I'm sure the guy did not know that, and that is why he kept on going back and forth with the police officer. So, I mean, and sometimes I feel like when we are approaching the police, the police are there because of us. Yes, sometimes because of human nature we might have some misunderstandings and everything, but it is very important to be very polite in actually speaking to them. If you know that you have not committed any crime, there is no reason to take up a position of defense or attack. You understand? Just listen to what the police personnel is saying, and then state your case. You understand? Because they are law enforcers. They are supposed to know the law, and that is why you, as a citizen, you should actually also know the law, especially if you're a driver and then you are always on the road. There are some basic laws that you should know, but the fact still stands. The police officer had every right to request for the guy's license. The guy was obliged, according to the law, to produce the license to the police officer for examination, which he did not do. The police officer had every right to invite the person to the police station, and what the police officer should have done was to give the guy a reason for that invitation. I did not see that in the video, and based on that, the person can actually reject the invitation, because on that premise you are not arresting the person. You are just saying, let's go to the police station. Go to the police station for what? If you are arresting the person, you state the reason why you are arresting the person. Better still, you actually make it consistent with what the law is saying. You understand? But if you do not do that and you just say, let's go to the police station, somebody might actually see that as abuse of power. And I believe that is why the guy said that he would not go to the police station. But fact still remains, he should have tendered in the license if he knew that he did not commit any offense on the road. He should have just tendered in the license to the police officer, because if this matter is taken ahead, he could be charged for refusal to produce his license to the police officer. So guys, I mean, I hope we will be able to catch some knowledge from this short video, and then I wish you guys all the best. Thank you.